How's it going, important people? My name is Maddie. Welcome back. And since you liked the Dark Magician video so much last time, I've decided to upload some more banger duels where I get to toy with my opponents using my Dark Magician deck. It was a lot of fun. If you like this style of video, let me know in the comments. If you're sick of hearing my voice, if you don't want to see me commentate and you'd rather me just upload replays, let me know. You can let me know if you're liking the video as well. I would greatly appreciate it. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. If you want to chat with me live, follow me at twitch.tv/Maddie. I would greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the video. So this was a duel against a Synchron deck. They went first, which kind of sucked at first when I saw my hand, because it's definitely a going first game for me because I have my floodgates. But they didn't start off very strong. They just set and passed, which you'll see later. I used Max C to kind of coerce them to not go into some of the Synchron first. I go Magician Souls and I pitch Dark Magician Girl, and I get rid of one of my extra summon limits to draw one card. So Magic Circle. But Magic Circle lets me in the top 3 after we use Soul after that. And now I know I have a disruption with my Dark Magician summon. Play Arrive in Light, put that on the top of the deck. I do that Synchron. I go Max C here, and that influences them not to Synchro Summon. A lot of times you can use Max C to stop your opponent from going into their crazy plays. It's essentially, do they want to take the Max C challenge? And some people do, some people don't. With the field he had here, he could have easily went into several special summons, but he chose not to. I end up banishing Junk Synchron. And then he just attacks into my Magician, or over my Magician Souls. So now, I know that the top cards in my deck, because of Dark Magical Circle, they're 2 Upstart Goblins. I play both of them, give my opponent 10,000 life points here. And then I draw Dark Magical Circle, or Secrets of Dark Magic, I'm sorry. And then I go into Imduck. Imduck is so much better than Link Spider. I see so many Dark Magician players playing Link Spider. Imduck does the same thing as Link Spider, gets Dark Magician of the Grave, but the benefit of Imduck is, 1, you get to say Imduck, which is really fun to say. Say it with me, Imduck. Come on, that's a lot of fun. And 2, it's a dragon. In a deck that is starving for dragons, you need Imduck in your life. So now I'm able to activate Eternal Soul to bring back Dark Magician, and then I got a Banish, and then I have my Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, with Eternal Soul and Dark Magical Circle. And as you guys know, that's a GG, because it's almost impossible to get over that. Do some attacking, and then now I'm confident setting all my back row because I know they can't touch it because my Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, protects all of my back row. I play Summon Limit, and I think at that point, this person realized that's it, they have no chance, and they end up scooping it up. Alright, so this was a fun little comeback against a Ancient Gear deck. I'm pretty sure they thought they had this duel in the bag, but we have the Heart of the Champion on our side, and the Heart of the cards. I use my Magician Souls effect here to get rid of 2 powerful cards to draw 2 more cards. The key to this deck is getting into it and drawing. And with those 2 cards, I'm able to get Magician's Rod. I use Magician's Rod to get Dark Magical Circle, get another Soul Servant, put Magician's Salvation. The goal of this deck is to get the Dark Magicians, and specifically get Dark Magician the Dragon Knight out. Sometimes I use the Xyz monsters to win the game, but that is the goal of the deck, and I am going to do what I need to do to achieve that goal, because that is my win condition. So sometimes it takes a little risk in order to do that, because you have to try to go for what you're planning on doing. You have to stick to your goals. So they go right away into Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, which is the big boss of a Ancient Gear deck. It does piercing damage, and it can attack all monsters on the field. And it's unaffected by spell and traps. So it's a big boss. I use Soul Servant to put Mahad on the top of my deck. Why do I put the Mahad from my hand to the top of my deck? Because it's a dark monster, and Mahad becomes a big boy against dark monsters. I play Eternal Soul, basically just to recycle my Magician's Rod. And then I draw my Mahad. I know Mahad can get over the Ancient Gear monster. Play Rod to get another Soul Servant. Use Soul Servant to put Secrets of Dark Magic on the top of my deck. I draw it out, and then I attack over it, attack with Rod, then play Eternal Soul to bring forth my Dark Magician. Dark Magician attacks, and then I go into my Star Leader Dragon, and voila, just like that, I have Dark Magician the Dragon Knight out with Eternal Soul and Dark Magical Circle. They play Pot of Extravagance, and then they play whatever this is. I end up banishing it, and I guess the duel is too hard to go on without this card, and they decide to scoop it up after that. A GG. Alright, so we'll wrap things up with a mirror match. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I play a Dark Magician deck, I consider this like a grudge match. It's a must-win because it's like high stakes. I gotta prove that my Dark Magician deck is superior. I make a lot of misplays here, actually. I use Magician Souls to summon out Dark Magician Girl because I know that I can get the Dark Magicians out quickly. Now I realize it's a Dark Magician deck, and I immediately try to Ash Blossom Magician's Rod because that's a big stoppage for a Dark Magician player if you could stop Magician's Rod. They're able to call by the grave it, and then this is a misplay in my opinion, but it's only overshadowed by their misplay. I go into the Dark Magicians here, essentially sending a Dark Magician Girl and a Palladium monster. They should have gotten Soul Servant with their Magician's Rod effect, and they chose not to, because that would have been essentially a pot of greed for them. But they went into Secrets of Dark Magic, and they summoned the Dark Magicians, sending a Palladium and a Dark Magician. And then they do this really weird thing where essentially they just attack into my monster. So both our effects activate to summon Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, and like when Yugi and Arcana duel in the anime, they just attack into each other. And I guess he's able to inflict 1600 damage to me, so if that was the goal, they did it. But this is where I take control of the duel. I play Magician Souls, send Dark Magician. Fusion Deployment is essentially completely useless because I run 2 Dark Magicians, a Dark Magician Girl, and a Palladium. And Fusion Deployment actually only works for Dark Magician Girl. So I pitch that to draw a card. That card is Magician's Rod. I use Magician's Rod to grab Soul Servant because I recognize it as a +3. I put Mahad on the top of my deck because I see the opportunity for my Mahad to attack into their Dark Monster here. And when Mahad attacks a Dark Monster, his attack is double to 5,000. So I know I'm still get a +3 because they have a Palladium monster in their graveyard. I put my Mahad on the top of my deck, I draw it, and then now I see an opportunity for Quintet because I have all of these spellcasters in my graveyard, and I choose to not banish 5 different ones. I could have banished 5 different ones to get the effect of Quintet to nuke their field, but I need to have Mahad attack over their Magician's Rod to inflict that damage to be enough for lethal. But because it's a Dark Magician player and because I'm such a nice guy, I give them another homie drop, and boy oh boy do they try to take advantage of it. They play another Magician's Rod, they get Soul Servant. I don't ash that, but I end up ashing the Soul Servant because I cannot let them get a +3. They end up getting the card on the top of their deck regardless with this Upstart, and then they are able to pull in Eternal Soul with Dark Magical Circle, and then go into Artemis. It's during their turn though that they realize that regardless of what they do, they're still going to lose. I think they planned on banishing one of these 2, but no matter which one they banish, I'm still going to be able to attack over the Dark Magician with the other one and then finish them. They end up realizing that and scooping it up. And that's how we won the mirror match. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed some of these Dark Magician replays. If this is something you'd like to see more of, just more focused on Dark Magician, let me know in the comments. I got plenty of Dark Magician replays. I use this deck primarily while I'm streaming. And if you don't mind, check my stream out. Follow me on twitch.tv/KingMatty. I would really appreciate it. Anyway, until the next video, I will see you guys later. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.